Now, here's something that deserves our full attention. There's a woman from South Sudan by the name Imo, and if you haven't heard her speak before, trust me, she's a powerful and unapologetic voice when it comes to African dignity and justice. Recently, she took to social media and called out the entire Africa continent. Why? Because back when Donald Trump banned Chadian citizens from getting visas to the US, Chad didn't just sit back quietly. They reciprocated. They turned around and said, well then, Americans aren't getting into Chad either. Imo's point was clear and direct. Why aren't other African nations doing the same? Why are we always so passive when Western powers disrespect us, dismiss or outright ban us? America has done little for Africa in return, yet we keep extending open arms, red carpets, and VIP treatment while they keep building walls and slamming doors. She asked, where is our full respect? Why are we always begging for validation from those who keep exploiting us? And most importantly, why aren't we learning from Chad's example? Let's take a moment to listen to what Imo had to say, and then we are going to break this down, because this is about more than visas. This is about sovereignty, respect, and the soul of African continent. Drop a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Should African countries take a stand like Chad did? Or is diplomacy worth the silence? Let's talk.
But why isn't every African country like Chad? Why doesn't every African country behave like Chad? Donald Trump banned Chad from going to the USA. They also banned the people of the USA from going to Chad. Very simple. I don't know why us as Africans have the mentality that without the USA we cannot survive. Guys, tell me one good thing the people from America have done for Africans. Tell me one good thing they have done for us, or one good thing we have benefited from them. Nothing, guys, nothing. It is very simple. We need to bring Idi Amin policies back into power. Give the countries that he has banned from going to the USA, they should also ban American citizens from going to their countries. Very simple. They should also ban American countries from going to their countries. Literally. Because it doesn't make sense. Like, so he has banned your people from going to his country and his people are still in your country. Why? Why? Let me tell you, the only thing Americans have done for Africa is nothing. Like, guys, if you see Americans in an African country, just know there is either oil, there is gold, there is diamond. Americans have never helped Africans, guys. They have never helped Africans. They have never. Even the people that built their country, these black Americans, what are they doing to them right now? Aren't they the same people they are profiling? Aren't they the same people they are racist to? Aren't they the same people they are doing all these things to? And aren't they the people that built their country? They are the ones. Guys, Donald Trump has banned people from your country from going to their country. Ban their people too. Very simple. I even don't get the concept of why we need visas to go to America, and some countries they don't need visas to go to. Why? If we need visas to go there, they should also need visas to come here. Guys, Africans, we really slack a lot, and it's so annoying. Like, what? He has banned people from your people from his country. Ban his people from your country. Very simple. Be like Chad.
Ladies and gentlemen, when you see military, you see boldness. When you see military, you see command. When you see military, you see self-confidence.
Something remarkable just happened on the global stage, and many Americans haven't even noticed. Chad, a landlocked African nation, often overlooked in a global headlines, has just done something bold. On June 10th, 2025, the Chadian government officially banned the issuance of visas to the US citizens. No more business trips, no more travel permits, no exceptions. And why? This wasn't random. It was a direct and unapologetic response to US President Donald Trump's decision on June 4th to ban citizens from the 12 countries, including 7 African nations like Chad, Libya, Congo, and Somalia, from entering the United States. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The US can issue these kinds of travel bans all the time, often under the pretext of national security, but when a smaller, less powerful nation like Chad does it in return, suddenly people sit up straighter. President Muhammad Idris Deby didn't whisper his response. He posted it boldly on his official Facebook page in French, and while the language may have been different, the message was universal. You don't get to push us around without consequences. This isn't about tourism. Chad isn't exactly on most Americans' vacation bucket list. But for many US citizens, especially those involved in energy, infrastructure, and logistics, Chad is an emerging business destination. And this visa free hits right where it hurts, in the pockets of those expecting free movement without mutual respect. We are watching a moment of geopolitical reversal. It's no longer just the US setting terms. Africa is responding. Africa is asserting. Africa is awakening. So today, we are not just talking about a visa ban. We are talking about a shift in dignity, in diplomacy, and in Africa's willingness to say enough is enough.
I see this news of Chad president on the president of America. Donald Trump is like, Donald Trump come to this office because of African people. When he first enter office, he goes straight to go and attack South Africa. Up till now, he's still holding on to South Africa. Before you know, he's going to Burkina Mali. Niger said he want to go and fight terrorists. Now, he decide, because he's not getting what they want, he decide to ban some countries, some citizens to enter America. He banned them because, you know, they always fight for themselves, or they always cover themselves. Because, you know, I see the issue of France connected to America. You know why? Because everything France take from Africa with robbery, and they go on like uranium, like all the resources they are taking from Africa, they are taking it to France to go and manufacture it, and France go sell them in the world market. You know, get so when now everything don't cut for France now, it don't scatter for them, to it don't affect them. Now America decide to ban these citizens like Equatorial Guinea, Congo citizen, Libya citizen, Somalia citizen, Yemen, Afghanistan, Chad, Haiti, Eritrea, Sudan, Iraq. They sanction them, say me they no come in country again. Me, I don't want to talk. I just they look. I they focus. I want to see what will happen. I want to see who go stand up and address this issue. Our own president of Chad, he paused spit for his face. He banned America. You know, now them always go for vacation. They can never sit down in their country. They can never sit down in their country. They have no good weather. They have no resources. They have nothing. They will always do go everywhere. Chad don't sanction them. And we are waiting for Equatorial Guinea, go Congo. We want all of them to sanction America too. Now one. Nobody is better or bigger than another person. You don't respect us, you don't give a fuck about you too. Sit down for your border. If you think we don't supposed to come to America, we will believe we don't want people, the standard of people who can live in America, who can visit America, then you to stop in your fuck. Go and sit down in your White House. Sit down in your White House. Now so one. And not only America, not only military person can do this. All the democracy people, they cannot do it because they don't get brokers, they don't get mind, they don't get liver. We're supposed to carry our president and go join court. I don't understand. I don't know. Let's just wait. Let's see other democracy presidents. Let's see what they go. They cannot do anything because they don't have mind. They cannot protect themselves. They are looking up to America for their savior. But Chad say, fuck off. Me, I want this man to join Sahel. And I'm looking into Botswana. Let them collaborate. Let us collaborate and see what will happen in the next 3 years. Guys, what do you think about this news? Give her a flower there. Drop the flag of Chad. Let me even go and download this my picture and change my profile picture. Fuck all of you. We don't care for us. We don't care for you. We don't see you. We don't see you. You will learn. Go and ask Obama. You think they're not like what Obama will do now? You want to come and do? Go and ask France. Go and ask Macron. Go and ask Macron what he would say.
Now, before you go all out and start screaming what US citizens will do in Chad, probably in terms of tourism, you may be right, because in comparison to other African countries, I believe Chad will not be the #1 destination for tourism. However, most of the people who go there, travel to Chad for business reasons and business purposes, And so definitely those people who have got business interest in Chad will not be given visas. But I am African and I know how our people operate. I think this is just a 9-day wonder.
Let's talk about the deeper implications of Chad's move, because this isn't just diplomatic tit for tat. It's symbolic of a growing frustration that's been building across the African continent for decades. Here's the pattern. Western nations like the United States pass sweeping policies, bans, sanctions that disproportionately target African or Middle Eastern countries. They say it's about national security, about tourism, about protecting citizens. But the impact, it's much broader. It's mothers separated from children, students blocked from academic dreams, entrepreneurs unable to attend critical business meetings, whole populations branded as risk-based solely on where they're from. Chad's inclusion in Trump's June 4th travel ban shocked many, because Chad is actually a partner of the US in regional counter-terrorism efforts. In fact, American military and intelligence forces relies on Chad's geographic positioning in the fight against Boko Haram and other extremists across the Sahel. So when the US turned around and lumped Chad in with the so-called highest risk countries, it felt like a betrayal. It wasn't just diplomatically offensive, it was strategically foolish. And that is exactly what President Dibé called out. His response wasn't fueled by anger, it was rooted in reciprocity and national pride. If you block our citizens, we will do the same. Let's understand how powerful this is. For decades, African nations have been passive receivers of foreign policy, rarely retaliating, rarely resisting. But this is a new signal that respect must be mutual, that global cooperation isn't one-sided, that sovereignty works both ways. And while some commentators are calling this a temporary 9-day wonder, a political stunt that will fade quickly, the symbolism will last. Because Chad has now set a precedent. If the US thinks it can isolate African countries without consequences, they will have to think again. Chad isn't the only African nation with pride, and today Africa is watching and learning. This move could be the beginning of a much-needed transformation in Africa's foreign policy approach, a turning point where Africa leaders stop accepting being treated as afterthoughts and start demanding to be treated as equals on the world stage. Let's stop back from headlines and look at the bigger picture, because what Chad did this week speaks to a broader reality. Africa is tired of being patronized, tired of being painted with a single brush, tired of being treated as the world's charity case or security risk, never its equal partner. This isn't just about Chad and Trump. This is about sovereignty, pride, and Africa's path forward. President Dibé didn't just deny visas. He asserted something far more important, that diplomatic relationships must be two-way streets, that Africa will no longer accept decisions made without its input, policies passed without context, and bans imposed without respect. What makes this move even more powerful is that it wasn't violent, it wasn't hostile, it was diplomatic courage. And that's what leadership should look like. Defending your people without burning bridges, standing tall without throwing punches. Too often, Africa's leaders have been reactive. We wait for aid, we beg for trade deals, we accept conditions, we sign lopsided agreements, but this was proactive, it was bold, and it was clean. Now, of course, some will argue, but America is still more powerful. This won't change anything, and maybe from a military or economic perspective, that's true, but symbolism matters. Presidents matter, dignity matters. If African countries continue to stand together on matters like this, if they speak with one voice, then they don't need to be superpowers to command respect. They need unity, strategy, and self-respect. Imagine this. What if the African Union stopped being just a committee and became a coordinated policy engine? What if no African nation stood alone and retaliating against unfair treatment? What if Africa started placing value on its own strength, its resources, its youth, its markets, and its ideas? Because here's the thing, Africa is not powerless. It holds the world's richest natural resources. Its population is young, creative, and driven. Its land is fertile, its people are resilient. The only thing missing is unity and bold leadership like what we see from Chad. And to the people of Chad, this move is bigger than politics. It's about teaching your youth what it means to stand up for themselves, to not just protest, but to govern. We talk a lot about Africa rising, but what we need is for Africa to assert its place in global economics, assert its voice in global policy, assert its right to determine its future without waiting for permission. It's time to shift the mindset. Stop waiting for the West to validate African progress. Stop assuming that aid equals progress. Start building from within. Let's invest in education, not just degrees, but solutions-based learning. Let's champion innovation, not just apps, but ideas that solve Africa's unique challenges. Let's empower our people, not just politically, but spiritually, with the confidence that we are not less than. We are not dependent. We are capable, and the president of Chad just reminded the entire continent of that truth. Now we hold our leaders accountable. We ask, who's next to stand up? Who is next to stop begging and start building? We train our youth to dream beyond borders. We encourage them to build at home, not just flee to the West. We create systems that work for us, by us, sustained by us. Because if we don't shape Africa's future, someone else will. To President Dibey, thank you for taking the first step. To other African nations, don't let it be the last. And to every American watching, understand this isn't about hate. It's about balance. Chad didn't slam the door out of anger. They simply matched the energy they were given. That's called reciprocity. And for the first time in a long time, Africa is learning how to use it. Well, guys, drop a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. And also remember to subscribe, like, and share as well. And until next time, bye-bye.